Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a wonderful Wednesday. Really excited to be learning about WeRise Wines, y'all. We're going to be talking to the founder and the owner of WeRise Wines. Jamila Conley is in the building, y'all, and I'm excited to talk about her business and their coming up of their wine bar launch that is happening later on. So I'm going to be getting all the details for all of y'all out there so you know exactly when and where to show up. But of course, this is the time where you get to show up for this show right here. That's right. Go ahead and share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from the daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on The Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our TV show, we always have you covered because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find me on your favorite platforms. Now, before I get into it with Jamila, I just got to say, you know, as the last week is wrapping up here, we're in the middle of the week, and I'm thinking about all of the gems we got to share with you all this year in 2024. And there's so many great stories out there. I'm always talking about being inspired because y'all hear me talk about inspiration, igniting the spark you need to do something, right? Sometimes you need that desire, that inspiration, that energy to then do something that can benefit other people. But the truth is also that hearing these phenomenal stories of folks opening businesses, writing their books, being a performer in a live audience format of any kind. It's just beautiful because honestly, sometimes you don't know the story behind it until you're able to hear it from someone from their own perspective, right? And not everyone has the time to write their memoir or their autobiography. So getting a glimpse into how everyone has something that drives them to do something different with their life or to make a great impact or to bring an amazing event together so that everyone in community can benefit. For me, I promise you, I'm so grateful for what this year has brought in the essence of the Day with Trae. You know, continuing on our theme and our journey of finding those inspiring stories to uplift you all so that you have that spark to do something amazing for others. That's really the joy that we get to share here on the Day with Trae. And as we're wrapping up this season, I just want to encourage you. I've been saying it throughout the season, but if you have someone in your community who is uplifting you, who is doing positive things, someone that you know that maybe has a book coming out or an amazing event, I want you to be thinking about the Day with Trae in the year of 2025. You can always email us and share with us those who you think should be on this platform to share their stories. And of course, even if it's beyond Washington State and the Pacific Northwest, we got all of this technology to connect with phenomenal stories all over the globe. So do not hesitate to email us at thedaywithtrae@whereweconverge.com to share all of those stories with us so we can make connections to those who are inspiring you in your everyday lives. Maybe it could be somebody who's doing something in community or someone in your professional world, whatever it may be. You know, give us the opportunity to uplift their story so others can be inspired as much as you are in your realm of reality. Well, I'm really excited to talk with Jamila Conley, who's joining me up next to share more about the amazing story behind WeRise Wines. Now, I keep saying it because I'm telling you, I want to say WeRise. It is WeRise Wines, and I'm so excited that she's here to share her story with us. You definitely don't want to miss it, y'all. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
My hair is definitely unique in the rodeo industry, and not a lot of girls wear their natural hairstyle. And since I do, it makes it a lot harder to find equipment that fits my head the right way. When I speak about being unique, that's what I mean is why should we have to change our hairstyle for safety maybe? Why can't they create something for us to be ourselves in and still be safe on the trails? You don't have to change the way you look because you're beautiful the way you are.
Back to the Future is coming to Seattle.
1955? If they don't meet, they won't fall in love, they won't get married, and neither you nor your siblings will ever be born.
Whoa, this is heavy. Experience the award-winning Best Musical Back to the Future at the Paramount Theater December 10th to 22nd. Get your tickets yesterday.
MLK Lobby Day brings the power of community voices to Olympia. Join Poverty Action as we advocate for policies that will clear the way out of poverty and tell legislators what is most important to you. Save the date, January 20th, 2025. Sign up to stay updated at povertyaction.com/newsletters.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Holiday. Joining me right now is Jamila. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
You know, I was talking about inspiring stories, and it's always great to see how we are really changing the wine industry. And I'm seeing so many more Black winemakers, folks who are getting into it, creating these amazing connections and collaborations to bring out great wine. So we got to hear about the beginnings of your story. Tell us more about what started WeRise Wines.
Well, honestly, what started WeRise Wines was I went to, and I should back up and say, I worked in tech for like the last 25 years, and I was getting to a point in my career, I knew I wanted something different. I really wasn't sure what different was going to look like just yet. And the universe put an idea in my lap that I wasn't expecting, but I'm having a lot of fun with. I've been a wine lover since my early 20s, and I just enjoy wine. And a couple of years ago, I went to a wine dinner. It was a celebration of Black women in wine. There were 7 or 8 winemakers there from up and down the coast, primarily. And I was taken aback because I was like, who are all these Black women making wine? I didn't even know you existed, because there was one winery there that I was a member of, Frechette Winery here in Washington State. And then there was another one, La Chalet, also from Washington State, that I knew of. I hadn't had her wine, but then the rest was like, never heard of you. I tasted their wines. They were incredible. But what really got it for me was as I talked to those winemakers, I was expecting them to tell me, oh, I've been doing wine my entire career. This has just been, my passion. But most of them told me they had left corporate jobs to start a winery. And that's what stuck with me of, oh my gosh, I never thought about leaving corporate to do something I just enjoy. And it was that started me thinking, okay, if I were to do that, I'm way too lazy to start a winery. That is not my passion. I started thinking about, well, what could I do to actually drive real impact, both for the city of Seattle. I've worked downtown for most of my career, and I'm very passionate about revitalizing Seattle. And then for communities of color and for any diverse communities, honestly, that to know that there's people making wine that you sometimes, or a lot of times, people think wine, they think old, white, rich man, right? And I was surrounded by this beauty of Black women that it made me curious to learn more about the diversity of wine and understanding that wine here in the United States is a $400 billion plus business. And all up diversity, including white women, is only 20%. So that's a huge disproportion of diversity. And it made me dig deeper then of, okay, how come you don't see a lot of these labels, you don't know about it. And I just started learning how hard it is for smaller wineries to get into distribution, which means you're not going to see them at Total Wine or in the grocery store. So I started putting together thoughts around, well, I'm hugely passionate about diversity and inclusion. I've worked in corporate. I know a lot about business operations, and I love wine. Is there something I could do here in Seattle to bring the wine to where the people are? So that's really where it started. And as I started thinking through this idea, I decided, well, why not start with a wine bar that is completely focused on diversity in wine? So it's mission-based. It's something that you're coming through the door, not just to have a glass of wine, but knowing that you're supporting a small business that's supporting other small businesses, and specifically diverse businesses. And I'm able to appeal to different communities. Like I said, communities of color, women, knowing more about other women winemakers, queer winemakers, and helping people appeal to something that is deep, just really inherent in us, of when we see something that looks like us, how that can drive you to want to know more, support more. So it's not just about the mission, but how can I bring communities that oftentimes, even though you might have, there's a number of, Black people, obviously, that love wine. But a lot of those same Black people might say, I don't know anything about wine. I just know what I buy at the grocery store. Of giving an environment where you can actually learn a bit more and go on this journey and not feel like, oh, I'd never go to wine country because I don't know the lingo. That you don't need to know the lingo to start to learn and enjoy more. And then also for the wineries, helping to drive that generational wealth. So these winemakers that left their corporate jobs to do something they enjoy, it doesn't have to stop with them.
Yeah.
But they can build something they can pass on to their families and drive that awareness that it can be something that grows and not just this small little thing.
Yeah.
So as I thought about bringing this together, it was really about how can I make this multifaceted dream to drive some impact in very real ways and a lot of different ways.
Well, I love hearing that backstory because it's interesting how all of these amazing interests come together, right? Like the spark that you got from recognizing all of these amazing winemakers yourself, and then understanding that there's a huge gap that needs to be filled because there's so many more folks like you who may love wine but don't know about these amazing winemakers. So tell us a bit how this all comes together at the wine bar. It sounds like you are truly curating an experience for folks who walk through the doors of WeRise Wine Bar. Tell us a bit more about what that looks like for folks.
I will. And let me first start, because I know the name can be a little bit of a tongue twister at first, and it doesn't seem like it should. But the name came as a nod to Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. And as I was thinking through what did I want to name it, my wife actually had said, what about, something from the poem? And at first I was like, what would that look like? And she was like, well, you're rising up and you're helping other wineries, rise up and get seen. So that's how we landed on the name WeRise, because it really is about the we and the togetherness and bringing community together. So
I love that.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that because that's really where, when I think about the experience I'm trying to drive in the bar, and I actually sat down with a company that helps with brand strategy. And they just asked me questions like, well, what do you want it to feel like? And I was like, I want people to feel welcome. I want people to feel safe. I want people to feel that I can come and enjoy whether I'm with people or by myself. Like, to me, having that essence in the bar is the first part of building that community and building more spaces where people can come for 30 minutes or 2 hours, and where it really came from for me was, as you think about like Starbucks and any coffee shop, that if it's midday, you have 20 minutes to kill. It's like, let me go to a coffee shop. I can sit there and, just, scroll on my phone if I need to and have a cup of coffee. But there's not that same type of spot when you think about that in the evening time. And it made me think that it would be nice to have a place where you can go and not feel like I have to be meeting someone or here for a formal dinner, but somewhere I can come in, sit down, be on my phone, just have a glass of wine. Especially when you're thinking about corporate workers or company workers that you get off of work, say it's 5 o'clock, you have a dinner at 6. What am I going to do for this hour? That you can go somewhere and just decompress. So I really think about the bar as that third place. And so that's kind of the essence and the feel. And then the actual experience, everything is based on storytelling. And the thing that you'll find in our social media and anything that we're doing, we're talking about the wineries. It's not just about, oh, let me tell you about the grapes and the climate and all these things that we've been taught of, like this makes you an expert in wine. I'm trying to appeal more to the things that we care about, that here's this Black winemaker who, and I'll speak specifically about Frichette's story for a second, that when she and her husband decided to move up to Washington, they literally first flipped the coin. They were in California of like, okay, we're going to South Carolina where she's from or Washington where he's from. And they landed in Washington and she was just like, wait, is this a two-headed coin? But then two, it was what should we do? Should we just get, jobs, whatever? And they decided to make wine. And to me, that's just so powerful right there, because a lot of people, we kind of miss that we have the choice of what we can do in our lives. And they made that choice, not knowing anything about wine other than they enjoyed drinking it, but they make some of the most fantastic wines that you can try. And driving that inspiration for other people who may be thinking, I want to do something different in my life, that some things is not too crazy. And to me, telling those stories so that people can see people, again, who look like them, resonate with them, and then hearing those stories of, wow, that's inspiring, that they took that risk and look what they're doing and look what they've been able to build. Those are the types of stories that I want to share and help continue just to motivate people of what else is available in life than just what's been told to us as we've been growing up.
Yeah, I really appreciate the creativity, right? For me, when we think about the story driving, not only a connection, because people connect with people. And this is why people's stories are so important, because a lot of times you'll hear a story and you go, wow, there's so many things that resonate with me or that reflect like my own story. And so I think that's a great route to be taking when, folks are trying to get educated on these wines. It's really about the folks making the wine, which we don't hear about when we think about some of the major brands of wine, right? We just know that, oh, like I like this rosé or I like this red or this white. Like, that you like something because of the taste. But that's about it, right? Like that's kind of where it ends. So I really appreciate being able to dive deeper and have a space where now folks can come in and learn more about that. Or if they're like, I don't really need to learn about that, I'm just trying to spend this hour. It's both and, right? For folks.
Exactly.
So you really are curating something that is unique. And it's interesting too, because folks say up here, oftentimes, if you have somebody coming in from out of town, like, where do you take them? And I remember someone asking me this and I'm like, communion. And, I start going like, I love taking people around the neighborhood, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a place for us to just be. Right. And so this is really great because we need more of these kinds of spaces. And especially for those of us from Global Majority who are really working to make sure that we are intentional about where we spend our dollars. Right. Right? Because I think we need more of those kinds of institutions and like brick and mortar spaces for us to say, no, we're intentional. We're coming here for a reason. Yeah, it's a 45-minute drive. I'm coming for a reason, right? So I really appreciate that. Now, what are some of these details? Because y'all are going to be launching soon, opening the doors. This is really exciting. I know it takes a long time to open up a space like this. So I know you've been hard at work.
Yes.
But tell us some of those details so folks can really kind of get into it because they going to want to show up now.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And this is the nicest I've been dressed in I don't know how long. But I would say that we're about 2 weeks away from launching. What we have launched so far is our e-commerce. So we have an online bottle shop, we have a wine club, because like you said, that being intentional, there's the intention about the space, and then there's the intention about people just being on the journey around wine, the different diversity of the wine. So we've launched our wine club, and then the actual space, we are trying our best to be open by the end of next week. Pray that all the gods come together to make that happen. So you can follow us on our website, Instagram, to know exactly when the doors are going to open, but we are extremely close to being open.
What area of town is this in?
So it's funny that you use the word intentional, because when it became real, this dream, because I'll say that prior to going to that wine dinner, I was always like, oh, it'd be fun to, and I live in West Seattle, it'll be fun to open a wine bar in West Seattle. I can walk to work, whatever. But then once this became real, it was like, okay, if I want to drive awareness, I need to be somewhere where a lot of eyeballs are going to be on this. And like I said, I'm also very passionate about the revitalization of downtown Seattle. So we're in Belltown, we're a block off the market. So 2nd and Stewart, across from the Moore Theater. And it's a great intersection because, one, like I said, a block off Pike Place Market. So we'll have a lot of tourists. We're surrounded by hotels. We're at the base of a luxury apartment building. So we have residents, and then also for companies. And as people get off of work, it'll be a great happy hour spot. And for me, being downtown also means that if you're coming from the CD, that's a mile away. You know, if you're coming from Beacon Hill, again, that's a mile away. So that I wanted to be somewhere that it didn't have to be this huge destination. So many of us work downtown and we live close by, that you'll be able to come by, enjoy, and still be within the radius of the communities. Because I did go back and forth as I thought about this of, do I want to be in the CD, but I really want to help downtown? Do I want to be in the CD? And I decided in downtown because, like I said, I wanted to be at that intersection of what bring in residents, bring in corporate workers, and bring in tourists to bring a lot of eyeballs on the wine.
Well, this is a really great opportunity for folks to learn more, to be intentional again about their dollars. And I'm grateful to you for really taking on this endeavor. I know it is huge. And I know it takes a lot to get space ready. So of course, I got to give you time so folks know exactly how to follow y'all so they can be there for the launch. Look right here in the camera closest to me. Give them your Instagram handle, the website, all of the great details so folks can follow you and learn more.
Yes, you can follow us at WeRise Wines on Instagram, at WeRise Wines on Facebook, on TikTok, on Threads, WeRise Wines on LinkedIn, and also visit our website at WeRiseWines.com. And I said all that without a tongue twister.
You did it. You did it well. You've been practicing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jamila, thank you so much for inspiring us today with your amazing story of opening WeRise Wines. And I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're going to be right here revitalizing the downtown core. We definitely need more opportunities for some more nightlife. That's like lounge style, right? Like I don't want to go to the club. Maybe I just want to come and chill. So thank you so much for opening this space for all of us to enjoy.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm so grateful for you and everything that Converge is doing.
Absolutely. We're grateful to be here. Anytime you got an update, you let us know.
All right. I will. Thank you.
Wow, y'all. What a great story. And I'm telling you that middle of the week, Jamila just set it off nice and bright. I get to wrap it all up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
There's something magical, alchemical about being an artist. Being able to create, mold, envision, enlighten. This is a wonderful task. That's why I do it. My name is Joyce J. Scott, and I'm having my 50th year retrospective walk a mile in my dreams. Come on down.
Empowering the community one connection at a time. ConnectWA is your partner in finding the support you need. Download the app today and experience the difference that a connected community can make. Learn more at eec-wa.org/connectwa-app.
Hi there, Manny Santiago from Washington Health Benefit Exchange. We're excited to help everyone enroll in health and dental insurance plans for 2025, regardless of immigration status. Open enrollment is happening right now, November 1st through January 15th, so it's the perfect time to find a plan that fits your needs and budget. Trusted resources in your community are available in person, over the phone, and online to compare health and dental insurance plans from the brands you know and find savings only available at wahealthplanfinder.org to lower your monthly insurance costs. Visit our website at wahealthplanfinder.org or call us at 855-923-4633.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Wow. Huge shout out to my guest today, Jamila Conley, and the whole team at WeRise Wines. Y'all definitely want to follow them so that you can be there for this amazing wine bar lunch right in the downtown area. You know, it's exciting because we often talk about needing more things to do that are fun, that we can bring folks to. And now we have another opportunity to be intentional about where we spend our dollars. And y'all know we talk about that thoroughly at Converge Media and right here on the Day with Trae, because we want to make sure that we're making it accessible to you all, right? This information is beyond information and inspiration. It's now a place that you can bring folks to that is like, yeah, let's go ahead and go downtown. Let's chill at the wine bar. You know, we need these kinds of spaces more as we think about coming back together. I think there was so much of a divide when it came to COVID, and we know spaces are opening, but there still is a need to innovate space now and think about different activities that we can do together in community. So I'm excited for WeRise Wines, and I'm also excited that Jamila was here to share her inspiration with us all. Y'all be inspired too, because you never know what idea you may have that you need to bring out for all of us to experience. If you don't do it, we don't get to do it. Okay, so please be inspired to do those things that have always been tinkering away in the back of your mind. You know, now is the time to leap and figure it out and allow all of us to support you in that. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Of course, I'm back with y'all tomorrow. Until then, at 11 a.m. Peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.